Hello YouTube and welcome to my channel Life with Brit. Today I'll be showing you how I make my cabbage soup. This is a great way to help kick off your health journey and to shed a few pounds. I did decide to make this soup last minute, so you will notice some changes in my ingredients. I already chopped an onion as well as 2 heads of cabbage. As you can see in the corner of the screen, I am now chopping up a handful of baby carrots. As well as about 5 stalks of celery, I believe. Yes, about 5 stalks of celery. You can cut your veggies to your size, to the size that you like. I put all my veggies into one bowl. I had a half a bell pepper left. This was last minute, so I did not feel like going to the store. So I used what I had. So it still made enough. So I used a half bell pepper. I sliced it to my desired size and emptied that into the bowl as well. I did use about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic, and that was the first thing I put into the pot. Now with this recipe, you're going to notice that I used beef broth. If you have chicken broth, use chicken broth. I used what I had in my cabinet. So I used 1 can of beef broth and the remaining water, but I highly recommend chicken broth. You would get way more flavor, and it just tastes better and cooks better with chicken broth. But you can use beef broth too. It still tasted good with this. I used a can of diced tomatoes. If you have fresh tomatoes, you can use that as well. Or you don't have to use tomatoes at all if you don't want to. I'm emptying all my veggies into the pot. 1 can of beef broth, 1 can of diced tomatoes. I did use a 1 tablespoon of beef bouillon. This is the paste, the bouillon paste. Well, not paste, base. It's a bouillon base. I did use about 1 tablespoon of that, and you will see me stirring that into the pot. I used about 3 bottles of spring water. Now you don't have to use spring water. You can use whatever water you desire. This is just my preference. When cooking soup, I rather use bottled water, not necessarily spring water, just bottled water in general. So I did use about 3 bottles of that. I seasoned to my liking because I use mainly water. You would see that I used a lot of seasonings. I did not measure my seasonings. You can season to taste. If you're using chicken broth, you're going to use less seasonings anyways, because the chicken broth has a more saltier taste. The beef broth does not, and I'm mainly using water. So I am using quite a bit of seasoning. I went in with garlic powder, some onion powder, some paprika, some oregano, some basil, some Tony Saturn's Creole seasoning, which is my favorite seasoning. I did go in with some Cajun seasoning, which made it a little bit spicy. Some people may use red pepper flakes, but I used Cajun seasoning, which still spiced it up just as good, as well as with the combination of the Creole seasoning. I want to say I used about maybe 3 teaspoons. If you're needing measurements, maybe about 3 teaspoons, 3 to 4 teaspoons of seasonings. I did not add actual salt because I knew the Tony Saturn's and the Cajun seasoning has a large amount of sodium in it. So I didn't want to over season and over salt anything. So here you see me just combining and mixing my ingredients. And this is what it will look like once you're done and once it has all cooked down. Very easy. Hope you like. Thanks for watching.